Hello everybody, my name is BearCozy and today we actually got something special for you. Today I'm doing an account takeover for a friend of mine, Shady Milkman. That is his name and he's a good friend of mine. We are going to do an account takeover. More specifically, we are going to fix his account to work on Queen of Tides. Right now, here's the progression. He is stuck on Tulpa 10. He is stuck on Ash 8. He cleared Queen of Tides 9 and 10. He's stuck on 11. And the plan today is to get him through 11 and through 12 so he can farm 12 very consistently, very efficiently, 100% of the time. And then we'll see if we can make some more progress in Tulpa and Ash Magisteria. So, if it's your first time here, my name is BearCozy. I strive to make not only entertaining, but also educational content. And I also try to put as much value into my videos as I can. As I've mentioned, we are going to be doing an account takeover. We're going to start with Queen of Tides. Now, the good thing is we have lots of heroes to work with. He already has Gangelo. He's not free to play, but he won't admit that, which is okay. He's not free to play. Santos is actually only level 50. We do have Santos. Santos has ascended 3 times. We might have to bring Santos to 6-star to be able to get her into farming Queen of Tides 12. But we do have Gangelo, we have Rodira, we have Santos, and we have Zalux. So first things first, let's see what we're working with. Here's the gear that's on Gangelo. This is what he's wearing, and this looks very similar to my gear. If you've seen any of my Gangelo videos, if you've seen my Queen of Tides videos, my Gangelo has a mix of just kind of whatever gear, just enough to hit stats so I can farm. And he does fine. He does fine. So here we have Gangelo at 162. His health is a tad low, but his defense is fairly high, so that's pretty good. And his focus is at 91%, so I don't think we need to do any work on him. Let's go ahead and take a look at Santos. She's going to be our next poisoner. Now I want to check the glyphs and I want to check the abilities because a lot of times the abilities are not there and then people wonder why they can't farm. So here you go. There's a perfect example of Santos only at level 50, has the glyphs. Glyphs are maxed out, but also doesn't have any of the skills done at all. Looks like not even 1 point. So that is unfortunate. We are going to have to do some farming. That's going to take some time. And we're going to have to work around that, see what we can do. Let's go ahead and check Gangelo now. Now that I want to check Gangelo, see if his skills are maxed out. And of course, his skills are not maxed out at all. I asked him to prepare, and I don't think he thought that he probably forgot all about this as he does have other things to do. The funny thing is he had a day off yesterday, so I don't know what he was doing. But maybe I should have been more specific. Hey, prepare, give me enough gear. Thank God Zalux is ranked up. Thank God all of his abilities are maxed out. All of his glyphs should be maxed out as well, so that's pretty good. Let's look at his gear. Hey, his gear is A-okay. Let's look at his stats. His crit rate is at 75. That's actually not bad. Crit damage is at 193, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I would say at 130, he should be able to work. We should be doing fine. And then Rodira is going to be our healer because I don't think at this point we have any other healers. Let's look at her gear. She is in a 1 Terra set, so there might be an issue there. She is in a health percentage with 2 flat attacks, and it's hard to get good gear when you can't farm the dungeons, and I totally understand that. So we're going to work with what we have. Her health is at 14,000. That's not too bad. Defense is pretty good, 1,200. I would like to bump the health up a little bit if we can. Her focus is 0, which is okay. She's not going to be landing the attack down on the boss, but that is going to be okay. What I'd like to do is, going into the gear, what I'd like to do is see if we can bump up our HP just a little bit. We don't really have a whole lot to pick from. There's a nice 5-star health boots. Let's see if we can roll some defense here. And if it rolls on defense, we might just replace the 2 flat attack rolls. Hopefully it roll. This is the issue. When you don't have any gear and the gear doesn't want to roll well, that is just a kick in the face. And unfortunately, that is... All right, we're just going to keep what we have. Man, oh man, you know, I did take a look at her coat. This piece is actually very good. I'm going to lock it. It is a 6-star. We do have 2 health rolls, so just because it's green, that doesn't mean anything. We got 2 health rolls, and they're actually pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and just bump it up to 12, and let's see if we can get one more stat. Hopefully, it'll be health, and if we get some kind of health, defense, something very good. We got a triple health roll, so this is absolutely amazing right there. That is what I'm looking for. And in all honesty, I would take this piece right to 15 if that was my account. but I want to run it by him, see what he wants to do. Triple health roll is absolutely amazing, especially for Rodira, because her heals scale off of her max HP. That is really, really cool. All right, let's go ahead and replace this. She is almost at 16,000 HP, which should be very, very good. We're going to put this on. I do want to see if we can get one more revival piece. I don't know if we're going to be able to. Santis does need some revival boots, but these are actually not too bad. They do have speed. Santis does need a revival set. She is very squishy, but I already know, looking at the account, looking at his heroes, and just looking at where he is, I already know his problem is with healing, and that is Rodira. Rodira is very weak on healing. This is actually rolling extremely well. Let's go ahead and just bump that right to 9. And then we'll mix and match. If we don't use it on her, we are going to use it on Santis. So unfortunately, the rolls are not great, but they are health boots, and this is exactly what I had to do to get into Queen of Tides 12. Let's go ahead and change that. We do have really nice health boots now. She is at 16,000 health, which is great. She's in a Terry set, and now she is in a revival set, which will help to keep our healer alive every single turn. So that is going to be very, very nice. All right, so she should be good there. Let's go look at Santis. Santis might need to be 6-starred, but we're going to look at her. Here's what we're going to do. Let's start with the boots. That's where I usually like to start. And let's look at our health boots, see what we got for options. Now, 5-star I really don't want. 4-star I don't want. We don't have 6-star, and we don't really have good substats. So what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is just roll these a little bit. We got flat rolls. The rolls are not great, unfortunately, but the whole idea here is just to get them into Queen of Tides. All right, I'm going to go through. I'm going to play around with the rest of this gear, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to take a look. Well, unfortunately, Wrathful Flood is closed. No Man's Land is closed right now. I was hoping to get some Wrathful Flood for Santis's skills, as she has no skills leveled up, which is actually really, really bad. So, unfortunately, that is not a good sign. As I've mentioned before, all their skills are not leveled up. I wish I made it more clear to level their skills. I think one thing that people mostly forget is the glyphs. So I did point the glyphs out, and the glyphs were all set. However, the skills are not touched at all. So that is going to be a major problem for us. But we're going to go in. We're going to see what we can do. And if we can clear 11, I know that once the skills get all the way upgraded, he should be able to clear 12. Going in to Queen of Tides 11. Unfortunately, as you've seen the gear, we don't have much to work with for gear at all. And that is unfortunate. Zatlux is geared okay. He has all his skills. Nobody else has any skills. Going into Queen of Tides 11, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to change the Smoldering Flames out for the Last Breath. Last Breath works really, really well. And then we're going to use Gaia's Renewal. Since Rodira is not the best healer, since we are very, very low on gear, we are going to use Gaia's Renewal, and hopefully that'll be enough. Account Takeover, Run 1. Queen of Tides 11, Attempt 1. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. If you're just popping in now, if you're just joining this video, here's what we got going on. Santis has no skills. None of her skills are upgraded. Let's go ahead and put that to 2x. Gangelo is missing all of his skills. Luckily for us, Zatlux has all of his skills upgraded, and so does Rodira. Right now, Santis is only level 50, so that's going to hurt us. But the good news is Zatlux is actually able to clear the waves by himself, which is very, very good. It looks like he barely makes it, but he does make it. He is ascended twice, which is very nice. So what we're going to do is, right now is the moment of truth. We are going to see, let's go ahead and do our targeting priority. We're going to target the elite on the right first, and then we're going to go for the boss, which is the secondary target. If we do not have enough damage or enough sustainability to be able to focus the boss second, what we're going to do is we're actually going to target the elite on the right, then the elite on the left, and then we're going to go ahead and kill the boss. So we'll have to see how this goes. We'll play it by ear. Hopefully we have enough damage. Unfortunately, we are missing skills from Santis and Gangelo, so this might be short-lived. The dungeons are actually closed right now. Fire is the only one open. Gangelo's wood, Santis' water, and unfortunately that is hurting us. I can't farm anything for anybody. Should be an okay run. This is 11, not 12. But I think once we get the skills farmed up and get them all leveled all the way up, this should be a 100% Queen of Tides team. And then we'll go into Roaring Tulpa, check that out, get him through 10, through 11, and hopefully through 12. And then, of course, he is stuck on Ash Magisteria 8, and we should be able to get him through at least 10 and 11 there. So that should be kind of cool. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see how this goes. Now, Santos, I am expecting Santos to die. Two reasons here. Primarily, the first, we don't have enough damage. Nobody has their skills upgraded. That is unfortunate. The second reason is Santos is only level 50, so she is very, very weak. And there they both go, and that is very bad. So we do need a little bit more damage coming out of the poisons. Gangelo is ascended to his A2, and that is the only thing that is keeping us alive here. And we'll have to see. This might be very, very slow going. We'll have to see what happens. But I think this should be 100% even with Santos dying. I think what we might have to do is target the ad on the left because of the joint attack, because of the lack of poisons here, lack of damage. And we're going to have to wait for that revival. We're going to have to wait for that resurrect spell, that revival spell to pop somebody up. Gangelo is going to do his AoE poison, and that should help us a little bit. But I am targeting the ad on the left because he does have joint attack, and I don't want to take any more damage than we have to. Now, hopefully, the queen should go down shortly. What we can also look at here after this run is we can look at putting Gangelo in a curse set. That will help a lot. I'm a big fan of using Gangelo in a curse set and using Santos in a revival set because Santos is super, super, super squishy. So until you have the good gear that you need, my preference is to run Santos in a revival set. My Santos actually on my account has 0 ascensions, so I run her in a revival set because she is pretty weak. She's made of paper, I think. And then once we get her ascended to 5, 6, and then we'll transition her into a curse set, and that should help us a lot as well. So this looks like it's going to be a 100% run. It is very slow because Gangelo and Santos do not have any of their skills leveled up at all. And I wish we had that available. But right now, as you can see, just tweaking a little bit of the gear, I think this is going to work out very fine. Even with them dying, we can still run this at 100%. So this is going to be very nice after we are finished here. At least he can farm the dungeons, get himself some gear, be able to farm 5 and 6-star gear. And even if he's unable to complete Queen of Tides 12 because Santos is only 50, and her gear is subpar, he can still run Queen of Tides 11, and there we go. You can still run Queen of Tides 11 and get 5 and 6-star gear, and even if he has to spend a week in Queen 11 to get to Queen 12, so, ooh, that might be worth rolling up. We got a 6-star helmet here. This might be worth rolling up. That might help us a lot. All right, here we go. After doing a little bit of work off camera, we are going to go ahead and level Santos to 6-star. Being at 60 in a revival set, she should do a lot better. And we're going to go right into Queen of Tides 12 and see how she does there right after we get her all the way to 60. And we should be good here. Going into Queen of Tides 12 now on auto after leveling Santos a little bit. She is level 60, barely had enough resources, just like the gear. Barely enough gear, barely enough resources, and I think we should be okay. Now keep in mind, Gangelo is missing all of his skills there. None of them are upgraded, unfortunately. Santos is missing all of her skills. None of them are upgraded either. Hey, you're still watching the video. That means you're enjoying the content. And if you're enjoying the content, that means somebody else will also. Click the subscribe button below and help this video reach more people so they can enjoy it as well. What we're going to do is if for any reason we fail this run, it looks like we're about to fail this run. If for any reason we fail this run, we can try it with Hackrin, or I'll tell my buddy that I'm doing the account Takeover 4 to try this with Hackrin. It should work 100% with Hackrin. And if Hackrin fails, then what he can do is he can actually go ahead and work on leveling the skills of Santos and Gangelo, and that should help a lot. Now, going into Queen of Tides 12 boss here, priority is Elite on the right and then boss. For this one, we're probably going to have to kill the Elite on the right as well. This is a little bit of a speed race to try and kill the Elite on the right as fast as we can. And I don't think we have enough damage just yet to do that because of the lack of skills. None of their skills are leveled up. So the issue here is because he has the joint attack, which Gangelo actually just took off, because he has the joint attack, this does turn into a little bit of a DPS race to try and kill him as fast as we can so we don't take too much damage and we don't die. And unfortunately, because Zatlux is super squishy and he died early, we are lacking damage. So if this fails, here's what I'm going to recommend. The first thing I'm going to recommend my friend to do is level Santos' skills all the way. We're going to level Gangalo skills all the way, max all of that out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and try it, because now Santos is actually in a revival set, which is good. Rodira is in a revival set as well. And then once we start farming 11 or 12 consistently, what we're going to do is we're going to actually, let's go ahead and kill this elite on the left before he kills us. I was a little too slow on clicking on that. Was hoping to kill him. Then what we're actually going to do, once we start farming 11 and 12 consistently, we're going to work on getting Gangalo in a cursed set and leave Santos in a revival set until she is maxed out on her ascensions and she is much tankier with some much better gear, and that should fix it. So that is kind of the couple of things that we can do to fix this. I honestly think if we get this guy soon, if we kill the elite on the left before Gangalo dies, I believe that we can actually kill Queen of Tides here. This should be 100% run, even though Zatlux died very early. If Gangalo dies, this run is over. Obviously, I got a little nervous there. So I think this should be 100% run. Gangalo can do it himself. It's just very slow. But as you can see, we have the team to do it. And even if it's slow, even if it takes a while, if it takes 6 or 7 minutes, we can still farm it 100%, or even if it's 95%, that should be fine. And just with these two, Rodira and Gangalo, they should do fine. There we go. So this is now a successful run. It got a little hairy, a little close. Everyone's gear is very, very, very low. Okay, there it goes. Hopefully Rodira will heal up Gangalo so he doesn't die. It is very, very close. And primarily because we took too much damage on the ads because we did not kill them fast enough. So if we get a little bit more damage in here, once we level up all of their skills, this will be 100% run on Queen of Tides 12 with Rodira, with Gangalo, with Santos, and Zatlux. Luckily, this account had Gangalo, so we had something to work with. It would be a lot tougher with Valak, but I did do an account takeover for another friend of mine, and I made a Valak, Rodira, Santos, and Zatlux team, or Hackrin team, I believe. That was a completely free-to-play team, and that worked out really, really well. It's slow, but it's 100%. So there we go. Luckily, we had a little bit of help here with Gangalo, but unfortunately, we got none of them. Neither Gangalo nor Santos had their skills leveled up, which is unfortunate. So that is taking us. That is a challenge. That is gimping our damage big time. And but we are completed. We are successful. We cleared Queen of Tides 12, which is absolutely amazing. So my recommendation to go forward is to there's the achievement right there. My recommendation to go forward is to work on skills, get Santos upgraded, all of her skills upgraded, get Gangalo's skills upgraded all the way, and he should have no problem running Queen of Tides 12 100% to get himself the much needed curse gear, the much needed revival gear, and then with this team, he should be able to run Tulpa 10, 11, and 12. And looking at his roster, I seen he had Garel. Gangalo's performance is absolutely excellent in this. Looking at my buddy's roster, I seen he had Garel. Garel is really, really good in Tulpa, and that worked out really well. And there we go. We got our really nice 6-star weapon, and we're just going to go ahead and lock that regardless of how it rolls. Because he is very low on gear, I am going to lock it, and we are going to use it. Hopefully it'll roll on health at least once. But it is a 6-star revival cane, so that will help a lot. So I hope you enjoyed this takeover. There it is. Let's go ahead and look at their final stats. I am going to leave that chest there so he can go ahead and claim it, and that's going to be awesome. Now, looking at their final stats, Gangalo, I did not change much. As you can see, he's at 162 speed. He's got good focus. I tried to drop his speed down in favor of some more health, but I could not. The way that he has him set up right now, if I dropped his speed, gave him more health, more survivability, his focus would drop down to 60%, and I just could not find a sweet spot. Looking at Santos, I did have to 60 Santos for Queen of Tides. And as I mentioned, she doesn't have her trait activated. None of her skills are upgraded, which hurts us a lot because now the ultimate is on a 5-turn cooldown. We have to wait for that. The special is on a 4-turn cooldown. And everything is very, very delayed. The damage is very delayed as well. But if we look at her stats, she is now at 16,000 HP. That should help her survive much better. She is a little fast. She does need more focus. She is lacking focus. I could not give her any more focus than this with having her in a revival set. The revival set is helping to keep her alive. I would love to put her in a revival and a Terra or a revival and a Raptor. that would be ideal. But right now, this is what it is, and he's just going to have to farm it like this, limp along, but at least he can farm 11 and he can farm 12. And once he gets all their skills upgraded, he should be able to farm 12 at least 90%. Looking at Rodira, I did not change much. I put her in a revival set as well because Rodira does need a little bit of help surviving. If we look at her info, she's got 16,000 HP, and there's much room. There is more room to improve there. The defense is at 1,300, which is where we want it. The higher, the better. She has no focus, so she does not land any debuffs, which is okay. We are primarily focused on her heals, and her heals scale off of her max HP. So if we look at her gear, there is room to improve. The crown can go to 12. I would like to see something a little bit better than this, something with at least one roll on health, but that is okay. There's room to improve here. This rolled horrible. The ring rolled pretty crappy as well, and the boots are A-okay. But right now, considering that is what he's working with, we are going to keep it. We're going to use it, and at least now it's 100% run. Zatlux, I did not touch at all. I think Zatlux is doing really, really well. The only thing that I would do different on Zatlux is if you look at his boots, I would put him in attack percentage boots instead of flat. Please don't roll flat boots at all. Do not roll flat boots, flat rings, or flat necklaces. Luckily for us, the ring is really, really nice. It's a crit rate ring, and the necklace is attack percent. So that is working out really well. If we look at his stats, he does have decent stats, actually. So what I'm going to do is recommend my buddy to put him in attack percentage boots, and that should help him. But everything else looks good. Maybe we can find some boots with some crit damage on them, and that should help to push him over 200, and he should be able to clear the waves by himself. To prevent this video from getting too long, I am not going to run any other dungeons. We got him through Queen of Tides 11. We got him through Queen of Tides 12. And I'm sure with this team, he can get himself through Topa and at least a few more Ash Magisteria. So that is going to be it. I hope you enjoyed the takeover. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Shady for letting me use his account. Thank you everybody for watching the video, for subscribing to the channel, and hitting the thumbs up to help me grow the channel. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.